This is The Language of Business with Greg Stoller.
Creativity, collaboration, and character strengths. Sounds like the contents of a typical corporate boardroom poster, right? Well, not necessarily. Ask Titus Yong that question, and you will probably be surprised with his answer. He's in the United States this week from Singapore, and Titus, welcome to The Language of Business.
Thank you for inviting me.
Your company is Ingenio, and tell us a little bit about what the company produces.
We produce a program called Moomba Music, and it is a program that is used by young children to learn about creativity through music. So our business model revolves around creating content that we train the teachers to use in the licensing model.
So is this a teach the teacher type approach?
Exactly.
And what exactly are you teaching them?
Exactly as you said, the 3 C's, creativity, collaboration, and character strengths through the medium of music. We encourage children to learn music from a young age because the research shows that if the children learns music, they can become more creative.
And is this your research or is this third-party research?
This is third-party research.
Okay. And when you say they're learning music, are they learning how to play an instrument?
The objective of the program is to expose them to multiple instruments, but for practical reasons, we only really teach them drums and the digital piano keyboard. But through the digital games, they are able to be exposed to a variety of orchestral instruments. And at the end of the 1-year program, they are able to pick an instrument that they like. And we think that one of the reasons why children give up on learning an instrument is because the parents or the teachers choose the instrument for them. But if they pick the instruments that they have a affinity for, there's a higher chance that they will stick with their instruments until they have become an adult and still play it.
So your software isn't meant to replace playing an instrument, but is actually a precursor or an introduction to multiple instruments that they can then choose ones they like.
Yep. In fact, nowadays we have a lot of digital softwares that people can compose music in, and we want them to get a feel for using software, and that they don't feel that instruments and software are two different things, that they can really mesh together and create really fantastic music.
Is this created only in Singapore, or do you have outside input into the approach, etc.?
Well, we have to practice what we preach, which is creative collaboration, and I think to date we have more than 24 people from 8 different countries who have helped us shape this product.
Are all of these people located in Singapore? Do you collaborate over the internet? Do you fly around to each of the locales to check in with them? How does that work?
Well, we try to limit the cross-country flying. So we usually use the internet for us to communicate, Skype, video, and sometimes they might be in Singapore already, and we hire them.
And is this for-profit or not-for-profit?
It's for-profit, although we operate on a social model. This means that for schools that are from an affluent place, we will charge them the usual rate. But for schools that are charitable schools, we offer them a big discount.
And is the software for all kids with special needs? Help our viewers to understand that.
It's generally for all kids, for regular kids, although we do have children who are autistic taking the program, and the objective of the program is not for them to learn a musical skill, but for them to learn how to collaborate, how to have to socialize with other friends.
And interact with music as a medium.
Music as a medium and digital platform as a medium. Because autistic children typically do not naturally interact like this.
Sure.
So they don't look at each other in the eye. So what we're trying to do is that we have a third-party medium where both or multiple children look at it together. It's less intimidating for the students. Nowadays, kids like digital things. They like to interact over hardware. They like animation. And we have managed to weave in what parents want, which is to teach them like character strengths. So in our program, we feature about 20 different character strengths through the cartoon.
Interesting. It says on your website that you've exported your products already to the United States, to the UK, etc. Why did you choose those markets?
In these English-speaking countries, they are already familiar with the medium of the animation to engage children. So it's natural that we go to places where they are already familiar with this medium. And because this product is first dubbed in English, we do not have to spend more money and investment to translate this into other languages. So we would first go to English-speaking countries, and America having a very large population base, is a great place because if you crack one city, we could potentially go to many other cities in the US.
Are you selling direct or are you going through distributors?
Going through distributors. So in fact, if you're watching this, if you know somebody who might be interested to distribute these products, give us a call.
We'd love to hear from them. We started off the beginning of our discussion talking about character, collaboration, creativity, etc. Why did you choose those three words?
I started my career teaching adults and running corporate training programs, and these are the skills that are very necessary in an innovation-led economy. And we started thinking, why is it that this is not something that we start the kids from a young age to think about it and to internalize? So we felt that there is a need to get children to be in this mindset. And I think in the United States, you have this thing called like a program for 21st century education.
Yes.
And these are exactly the types of skill sets that we would like to foster in children from a young age.
Are you applying these skill sets to other ventures outside of Ingenio?
Yes, we have some other fundraising projects for charity that we are trying to inculcate in children and adults and parents to foster this at home.
Do you do any corporate training or areas of that ilk?
Yes, we run innovation programs in Singapore and in Asia Pacific, and we try to get people to think about personal innovation, how you can be creative personally, and how to form collaboration and have team innovation.
Titus, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Titus Yong, founder and entrepreneur for Ingenio, the creators of Moomba Music. It's one thing to have a first mover advantage, but quite another to be the first company operating in an entire nation.
Greg Stoller talks with an olive oil entrepreneur from Palestine, next on The Language of Business.